Welcome to the Truth Expedition. I'm your host, Mark Bishofsky. This is the pilot exploration, trying to dig deep, get a little closer to the truth. The purpose of this pilot endeavor is to let the viewers get to know who I am, why I'm even having this show, and who my first guests are going to be. So again, I'm Mark Bishofsky. I'm an activist. I was the founder of the organization Stop the Mandate Minnesota. I'm a respiratory therapist who worked through the COVID scamdemic, got to witness all the atrocities firsthand. And that is basically what was so alarming to me that got me off the couch to become an activist. Again, I was the founder of Stop the Mandate in Minnesota. I went on to hold many rallies around the state, ended up running actually for State House of Representatives in Minnesota, which is very ironic. I'm actually kind of a shy guy who is very skeptical when it comes to politics and politicians. I do not trust our government. I do not trust politicians. I think everything is theater, unfortunately. And that's the purpose of this show, to discover some truth. Now, when it comes to truth, I believe that truth is self-determined. Everybody's going to have their own truth. I believe a truth is that the lockdowns didn't work and that masks were ineffective. Somebody else is going to have a different truth. But if we can get more information within our brains, we can then discover new truths and get closer to what might actually be fact. Am I a conspiracy theorist? I think that term is stupid. Is the term conspiracy theorist, was it coined by the CIA in the 70s, the 60s, after JFK was murdered? Now, is that a conspiracy theory? The Federal Reserve, World War II, Vietnam, how we got involved with that, the Oklahoma City bombing, did we land on the moon, 9/11, all of our elections. I don't know what to believe anymore. We are gaslit. The media is slanted. It is a propaganda wing of the government. And so you have to dig deep in order to get a little bit closer to the truth. So with each episode, that will be my goal, to get a little bit closer to the truth. My first guest, what an honor it will be to interview Dr. Andrew Kaufman. Dr. Andy got his BS in molecular biology at MIT, actually. He studied and got his medical degree at the University of South Carolina, and went on to study psychiatry at Duke University. And he too blew the whistle on this COVID scamdemic. And he has discovered, as I have, that you need to question everything in this world. And he is an expert when it comes to nutrition, diet, the healthcare system, and the harms that they do, iatrogenic deaths caused by the medical system are through the roof. This so-called vaccine. More importantly, with Dr. Andy, is he is one of the more prominent voices out there questioning whether or not viruses even exist. And he gives speeches on terrain theory, that most of our illnesses are basically due to detoxing. Very fascinating. It's going to be a wonderful discussion with Dr. Andy, and I cannot wait for that. My next guest will be farmer Joel Salatin. So Joel, he is the owner of Polyface Farms in Virginia. He uses regenerative farming. He's been featured on many documentaries, Food Inc. He's the author of over a dozen books. In fact, this one that I'm reading right here, Joel Salatin, Folks, This Ain't Normal. Very relevant right now. In fact, I believe his methods of farming can be the cure for so many of our problems in this society: health, economy, decentralization of our food supply, and the environment. Organic soils sequester carbon, no runoff with toxic nutrients, no glyphosate. So Joel, another fascinating discussion will be had with Joel. And then next will be Brooke Jackson. Brooke was an employee at Pfizer until she blew the whistle on the fraud that she was witnessing in their COVID-19 vaccine trials I cannot wait to find out more about that. I'm also going to interview Doug Colmer, a friend of mine who is an expert, a wizard when it comes to all things computer, internet security, cryptocurrency, which is extremely important when we are entering these days of a potential central bank digital currency taking over. So understanding digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, how they work, how they can be valuable, decentralized and private currencies, the importance of that. Doug is also a homeschool dad like myself, a freedom lover, what he would call himself a voluntarist. So if you've never heard of anarcho-capitalism, it's a way our society could function without governments. I believe governments are kind of the root of all of our problems. And it's probably decades, if not centuries down the road where we could eliminate governments and live upon our free will, kind of a contract with society, so to speak. Amazing topics to discover there. I'm also going to interview regular people. I'm a regular person, nothing special about me. And I believe regular people have perspectives that are very important in figuring out how to navigate down a path towards more freedom, more liberty, more prosperity for everyone. So that's the purpose of this show, to discover some truth. I've got many more guests lined up. I can't wait to get this rolling. First episode is going to be April 10th with Dr. Andy. And then every Monday after that, Joel, Brooke, Doug. I'm also going to interview Jake Duesenberg, the president of Action for Liberty. He's got a perspective on Minnesota politics and federal politics that we all need to know. And to learn more about that organization, how they fight to preserve liberty for the next generation. So thanks for tuning in to this pilot episode, this mini episode. Working on getting out some glitches here, making sure my microphone's working, the camera's working, getting this all produced. I will see you down the road towards a little bit closer to truth as we trek on this discovery, on this expedition, this exploration to find some truth. Thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends to sign up, rumble.com/thetruthexpedition. You can go to truthexpedition.com, click there to follow. There will be some editorials there as well. Again, thanks so much. Live free, stay unmasked, stay unjabbed. Have a great day.